What's up, everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Banter Broadcast Network. Your host, Mark, and of course, I got my main man, Dave, with me. Dave, what's good, brother?
What's going on, everybody? And make sure if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and ring the bell for post notifications to get notified when we go live, like tonight. And keep it locked here, because next Thursday is the big one, number 200. Our 200th episode is going to be next Thursday. Time to be determined. We're hoping for 8:30, but we might have to shift to 9. We're going to have Scott, Sam, and Sanders joining us, along with our two other brothers, Danny and Alex, are making their return to the podcast next week. So we are definitely looking forward to that. So bookmark that one.
Exactly. Don't forget to go and watch it for next week. But this week, we got hopefully Yankees waking up is what's happening. Earlier in the week. Hopefully, we can say that. Hopefully. I mean, they made a trade. They got Ryan Weathers from the Miami Marlins. They had to give up Dylan Lewis, Brendan Jones, Dylan Hassel, and Juan Macias. Now, I think
none of those guys I've even heard of. I know we gave up our 14th and 16th overall prospects, and that's about as the extent of my knowledge goes with it. Because I was like, who are these guys?
They're four minor leaguers. I like Dylan Lewis a lot. Dylan Lewis was definitely a name to be that could possibly have been done something in the future. Some plays center field, right-handed bat. He was in he made the high A ball and was on the march going up the food chain. Brendan Jones has a good swing. Dylan Hassel, he's a short. He's an infielder, and Juan Macias. I didn't know him that much, but I do think in the overall for a Ryan Weathers, someone who's got a lot of potential. Comes with a lot of injury risk, and it was for me. It felt like it was a lot to give up for him. I hope that it's a good trade because I am kind of excited for it because it's kind of a guy that you can kind of bridge and hybrid right now. Like the injury bug kind of gets to him because he's never pitched over 100 innings before. In fact, I think in the past 2 seasons, it's been less than 130 innings for the 2 seasons combined. So if you think of it this way, he's saying that he feels the healthiest he's been in a few years, which is a good thing. He's got a nasty fastball, excellent slider. He's got a changeup. He's got a sinker. So he's got the makings of a starting pitcher. His fastball tops out at 99, averages 97. So I mean, you're talking about he's got velocity that comes with it. If it's something that he doesn't stick to and can't really hack it as a starter, then obviously this has got bullpen written all over it. And quite frankly, I mean, you always need high octane arms in the bullpen, especially left-handed. I mean, you're talking if he's topping out at 99 as a starter, that jumps up a little bit for a relief pitcher, talking 100, 101 possibly. So it was a move, but I think it's not a bad move, especially in the fact that they didn't get Edward Cabrera, which I think to give up the likes of Owen Cassie that the Cubs did, it was going to be a lot for Cabrera. Dave, as you said before, you didn't really know the guys that we gave up. And I know you kind of do what Michael Kay says, which is prospects are always suspect till they prove themselves. But this day and age, prospects are your currency, not the actual dollar bills that you got in your bank account. These are the chips that you got to use in order to get the players that you need to get.
I really don't think the Marlins even valued him, to be honest with you. They've taken that low a package. I mean, granted, the injury history is there, so that's why they took a lower package. We made a trade with the right team just for what I'm considering the wrong guy because we tried to get Cabrera, and we all know how that ended. But Ryan Weathers, let's see. He's the son of former Yankees reliever Dave Weathers, who was on the 96 World Championship team. He started his career in San Diego in 2021, was traded in 2023 to Miami, and last year posted a 2-2 record, 8 games and starts, 38 1/3 innings pitched, 17 earned runs, gave up 7 home runs, 12 walks to 37 strikeouts, ERA plus of 1.11, and an FIP of 4.60, WHIP of 1.278. So 8.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. So I don't know. They already got the projections show him slotted as the number 4 starter behind Will Warren and in front of Luis Heel and being fronted by Max Fried and Cam Schlittler. So
I don't know. I think he'll wind up being the. I don't know. I mean, listen.
It's better than having Ryan Yarbrough as your number 4.
Yeah, but Ryan Yarbrough would have been your number 5. I mean, you just move Luis Heel down. I'm pretty sure you're moving a Will Warren down as well. So I mean, 3 to 4. I mean, he's right there, middle to back end rotation.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's where he is. But there's also the potential to move upwards. I mean, I think he can top out at a number 2 kind of guy, but. Like I said, he's got to show he can be injury free.
What was his injury?
He had a lat strain. He was placed on a 60-day IL due to a left lat strain, and that was on June 9th of last year. So, and he was activated in September 11th. So, it's one of those things. He in the year before 2024, he was placed on the injured list with a left index finger strain on June 8th, July, and by the time it was a month later, he was transferred to the 60-day, activated later on the year, just like this time around. So, I mean, it's not like it's, hey, elbow injuries, it's not shoulder injuries, it's not,
it's weird stuff. Well, I mean, a lat strain for a pitcher is not weird, but the index finger is definitely weird. I've never heard of anyone spraining their index finger on their pitching hand before. You get blisters and stuff like that, but a sprain, like how hard were you gripping this ball, my guy?
Don't forget
throwing it with one finger.
He also has a little infamy of being the pitcher when I think it's kind of going around the internet now, where it was when he was warming up, he threw a pitch, turned around, walked off the mound, and the catcher was throwing down to second base and beamed him in the head. So,
oh my God,
it seems like a little bit of
poor guy.
Yeah, but like I said, I think he's got there's a lot of good that comes with him. I'm excited about what they can do with him. Like a Matt Blake with a Ryan Weathers could do something really fun, and I think that he can. The hope is that he unlocks whatever the next step could be for him, because he's got the pitching pedigree for it. He's got the family. He's got the pitches there, and just needs to move on from there. And he kind of needs to make that step of being not injured, even with not silly injuries, but just fluke injuries like the finger or the lat strain. He's got to stay. He's got to get this year. I'm expecting 150 innings from if he's a starting pitcher for us.
My only question is, like, what do they do with him when everyone comes back? When Cole, Rodon, like.
Well,
they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make.
Well, Cole and Rodon come back. You turn around, you send Heel to the bullpen, you send Will Warren to the bullpen. To me, it's a very simple thing. Very easy. Schmidt, I'm not expecting to come back. I'm expecting Schmidt to go straight to the bullpen also. Like you have all those guys come back. You go, Cole's going to be your 1, Fried 2, Rodon 3, 4 is Schlittler, and 5 is Weathers. It's not a bad 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Not bad whatsoever. I'm gonna tell you guys that much. But yeah, let's move on to the bigger and better things here, which is, like I said, the sleeping Giants kind of yawning, stretching a little bit. They had more conversations with Cody Bellinger. Rumor was it's 5 years, $160 million, something like that.
Yeah.
So. And they're still off because Cody wants the 7-year. And as of tonight Thursday night at 9:16 p.m., there's still nothing going on for Kyle Tucker, because I personally believe that Bellinger is still holding out on. I don't want to make this. Boris doesn't want to make that deal until Kyle Tucker signs, because then whoever loses out on Kyle Tucker is going to switch gears and kind of throw some extra money towards Bellinger. Get the money and get the years up there, is my personal opinion.
Well, I saw that the Mets were only offering him like $140 million for Tucker.
200. It was up to 4 years now. $50 million a year.
Everything that I was seeing was in the mid 100s. I was like, That's a long way off from, what everyone was talking. 400 million. That dude.
The Mets,
please,
the Mets were offering him. So the Mets offer is 50 mil a year, and they were doing a short-term deal at 50 mil a year. The Blue Jays have a long-term offer on the table. I haven't heard the numbers on there. I gotta say it's got to be 2 to 3 in the 2 to 300. I think it's like 30 mil, minimum of 30 mil a year. And the Dodgers are lurking out there as well. They're kind of the third place team at this point. Like, I haven't heard exactly what their number is, but the Dodgers are also out there. So anything's possible with that. I mean, Dodgers are kings of the deferred money situation at this present moment. So
I feel like when the Dodgers get mentioned that they're in on everybody, because I think it's just reporters and social media just throwing them in there just to murk the waters, because if the Dodgers sign any more free agents, they're going to get taxed at like 137% in the luxury tax. So I'm not really quite convinced that the Dodgers are in the mix with this.
Well, I don't think they're not going to be that bad, because I mean, it's the deferred money. So they're going to figure, like, that's Dodgers 7 years down the line problem, not Dodgers today problem. They'll worry about the billions of dollars. Mind you, they already have that money. Like, they already have the Shohei Ohtani money in escrow. So it's like all that crap is not even worthwhile to them. They're printing money as we speak, so they don't care. It's like back in the day when all the agents wanted to make sure the Yankees name was involved. Especially if Brian Cashman made a phone call to check in on a free agent, all the Yankees called up about us. They're involved, and that just moved them. That moved the number up some more.
Yeah.
That moved the years, that moved the number, because they were worried about the Yankees coming in there with the numbers and with the money to get them. Not under Hal anymore, but back in the day when Hal wasn't really worrying about the finances of the team. But hopefully, we're less than a month away from pitchers and
February 11th.
Yeah, less than a month away, and the Bellinger situation is not finalized. So, what do you?
I feel like this is gonna. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was going to say we're kind of going down the same road. I was going to say, what is it going to take for this thing to? What is it going to take for the Yankees to put pen to paper? Do they got to go 7, or are they going to be creative with it?
I think they got to go 6 years at 180 with a 7th year mutual option.
Why not go, say, 5 years at 180? Give him more money in the short term.
Because he wants the years. This is evident. He wants the years. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's the years. I think he wants to end his career here. Something his dad couldn't do. I don't know. I definitely think it's going to take at least another 20 mil, an extra year with an option year. And I think that gets it done.
I think that's what I think 6 years is the sweet spot. I think that if the Yankees give him 35 mil a year, which would bring that contract to 175 for 5, I think that they're going to really take a look at that, because then they're talking Bregman numbers. You know what I mean? Like, if they get the 5 years close to what Bregman's getting, then I think that's an easy sell.
I don't know. I just want it to be done. I'm so sick of this dragging out. Like, you saw Bregman sign last year. It was like guys were already showing up to camp, and he was getting there like a week after the full squad showed up. I just want this to be done, signed, sealed, delivered, because you're holding up another guy from sign. Yeah, I think this whole thing is just ridiculous. Oh, I gotta wait for this dude to sign so I don't get screwed. Like, who cares, bro? Just do you. Don't worry about the other guy.
Well, depending on the guy makes the market. Like, Tucker's making the market for everybody. Don't forget that. Tucker makes the market for Bellinger and for Bichette. Like, Bregman's in a different situation altogether. Bregman already had the market for himself of, high 30s, low 40s from where he was with the Boston Red Sox. So he already had that market out there. Bellinger is trying to get into a certain market, and he didn't have that market before. So he needs a Kyle Tucker to get money to up his value as well. And tell me, Mets don't get, I'm thinking that it's going to be the Blue Jays that get to Kyle Tucker. too many reasons for it to not happen. For it to happen. I mean, he's a Tampa native. Blue Jays are in Dunedin for spring training, so he doesn't really have to make too much of a move. Like off season he spends more time in the same area through the off season. Kind of like Bichette going to the Phillies. The Phillies are in Clearwater. Bichette lives in St. Petersburg. Doesn't have to move that much around during the offseason. It's something worthwhile.
He ain't gonna be signing anywhere if what the rumors of him saying that he wants $340 million are true. Like he ain't signing anywhere. You are not Aaron Judge. I'm sorry. Like get out of here. Like no.
but Bo Bichette is young and he can still, and he's 28 years old. He can and he hits the ball, and he's gonna move over, and he was willing to move to second base. He's not gonna get 340, but why not try to why not to set the market high and then kind of know exactly where you want to be?
I think his ceiling is 250, 275.
Maybe, but why not strive for more? I think him and the Phillies are kind of working on making the finalized deal.
But I mean, look at all the contracts that have been shelled out. No one's even getting close to 200 mil because of this BS that could possibly be falling out of the sky in 2027.
Yeah, but all those guys are also over, with the exception of the Japanese players, they're all over 30. So no one's paying the guys big money anymore. But if you look at it, it's shorter term deals with higher AAVs. They're all making 30 mil a year, 35 mil a year. Maybe that's where Bo Bichette lines up, where he's going, being younger, he gets a longer term. He wants the longer term deal, gets more money. Anything's possible, man.
Yeah. I don't know. The longer this goes, the less optimistic I become. So unless, the player gets desperate and just says, F this, I would just want to be done, and puts pen to paper, I think this drags out into spring training.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, because it's just a waste of time.
I agree, but I mean,
I don't think so. I think, the reports were supposed to be that today Kyle Tucker was supposed to narrow it down and sign a deal with somebody. That has not happened as of yet. So I think they're still working. They're working somebody. They're either working the Mets to get a 5th year at $50 million a year, or they're working the Blue Jays to come up a little more. I mean, I can't figure out it's a weird market for Kyle Tucker. He's kind of that guy that everyone's kind of giving you a reason that they don't want him on the team, as opposed to, hey, let's do this. This is the type of kid that we want around. So I don't know. It's an odd situation that Tucker's in, but when you're the number one free agent on the market, you're going to go for you're going to go get every penny that's out there that you can. And
this is interesting, though. I'm reading this right now. Apparently, side note, the Philadelphia Phillies offered Real Muto a 3-year contract, and he declined it.
Well, yeah, I think he wants 5.
It was worth the reports are it was worth south of $45 million total.
Well, yeah, that does. Well, yeah, I mean, 3 years at 45. I mean, you're looking at 10 plus. You're not even close to 20 mil.
They say he's reportedly seeking a longer term deal, perhaps closer to 3 years at $60 million.
That's one. Yeah, like I just said, 20 mil. That's about the sweet. That's about where he wants to be. So I think that Realmuto comes back to the Phillies. I think Bill Bichette goes to the Phillies. I think that kind of makes the Phillies whole. Even though Phillies, I still think they need another pitcher.
Framber Valdez is still out there, man.
So is Zach Gallen. There's a few guys.
Yeah, that one shocks me, man. Honestly, like I cannot believe Zach Gallen is still a free agent. I thought he would have been the first one to go.
No, he didn't have a good year last year. Zach Gallen didn't.
Still, it's Zach Gallen. Like,
yeah, Zach
your
Gallen.
Team is better. If you're any team in Major League Baseball, your team is better with him than without him. And in my opinion, I mean, just because of what he's done in the past. I mean, take last year out of the equation, the whole team did horrible.
Arizona, they were, yeah.
They were a fourth place team.
Yeah, they were sellers at the they were
Mm-hmm.
sellers. And they were restocking. Yeah, but they're flipping.
Just
They're
got
flipping the bill.
Arenado, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, someone is talking about maybe convincing Paul Goldschmidt to come back to Arizona on another 1 year deal, or like he did a 1 year deal last year with the Yankees. Go down there for a 1 year deal, $10 million. Kind of do a swan song for with Arizona. Kind of hang out with Arenado again for one more run.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But don't forget that. I mean, they got money on the books still down there. I mean, they got that god awful Jordan Montgomery contract.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they got Corbin Burns on their books too. I mean, they got some.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. signed a 3 years, like $85 million extension 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah, they got some money tied up for sure.
So they got pieces there. They just got to move and get the right ones out.
Corbin Carroll, not Corbin Burns.
No, they got Corbin. No, they got.
Oh Burns. Yeah, that's right too. They gave him like 200 and something.
He had Tommy John surgery last year.
Yeah, that was terrible to see. Signs a deal like that and blows his elbow out. Like, God, talk about bad luck.
It was. I mean, and especially for him, it was going home. He didn't have family didn't have to move anywhere now because Arizona is the spot where there's spring training facilities right there. Just move a little bit over. Then they got the home stadium. I mean, it's a full year thing right there for them.
Yep. So,
but other news is in this lackluster of Yankees free agency and off season. I was
almost depressing coming on here and talking about this because there's nothing going on. Like, God, give us something to talk about instead of just, oh, this sucks. Oh, we didn't do anything.
Well, let's kind of have a conversation that I was on the other night with Chris from the channel. We're talking about the Cubs now because they signed Bregman. Nico Hoerner, people are in the talks for Nico Hoerner. One of the teams obviously is the Yankees, which is silly.
The Giants now.
Yes, and the other day we talked about the Giants being there too. And the Giants make perfect sense. I mean, that infield be nasty with Chapman, Adames, Hoerner, and then got Devers at first base. I mean,
yeah, pretty solid.
I like that a lot. And then the Yankees, and tell me what you think of this lineup because I don't because and as I talk it through, explain to me what the thought process of them trying to trade Jazz Chisholm at this point would be. You get Ryan McMahon at third. You have Nico Hoerner, who's played and won a Gold Glove at shortstop before, playing short. Jazz at second, and then figure out your first baseman. Rice at this point, maybe you really throw Cody Bellinger over there. I mean, it's not a bad look, and for me, Nico Hoerner's a better shortstop than what we have right now. Would be better than Caballero, and if he's better than Caballero, then he's most certainly better than Anthony Volpe. I mean, I don't even want to really continue saying Volpe's name because it just gets me angry and angry every time.
I know the pain and anguish on your face says it all.
It really does. I mean, sweet God, does this experiment need to end?
I'm willing to give him one more year. Just because of the injury factor and the way the whole damn thing was handled.
Last year was my year. Hold
on. Let me finish this. If he comes back fully healthy off of this shoulder injury and he's still playing like garbage, fine. I will agree with you at 110,000% that he needs to go. But if he comes back healthy and performs.
Well, what's performing? Explain to me what performing is.
Performing for me would be hitting 275 with 10 home runs, close to 100 RBIs.
That's a lot for 10 home runs.
And an OBP of close to 900. That would be performing to me.
I would say honestly for performing, I would take those RBIs, get it down to like 75
or whatever. I mean, but that's what performance. Like throw 50 stolen bases in there just for shits and giggles, right? That to me is performing for him and his skill set. He is not a power home run hitter, even though they try to make him be that. He's not that. He's a contact hitter. Just let him make contact with the ball. But I'd be happy with him batting 275 with 10 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
He should be. He should be going for that. Honest to God, he should be the kind of guy that's supposed to be batting about 275. He should be going for 65, 70, stakes. His OPS, I mean, good God. I mean, he's been pedestrian his entire career with his OPS. So, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, he's got a career average. He's got a career OPS of 6.62. So
yeah, that is pretty bad. Needs to bump it up like 300 points.
Exactly. And I'll say this. He had his worst OPS when he had what I truly believe was his best year, which was his second year, 2024.
The Gold Glove year.
No, the Gold Glove year was his first year. He shouldn't have won it he should not have won it his first year. He should have won it his second year. But Bobby Witt Jr. won it the second year, and Bobby Witt Jr. is the man who for shortstops. So at that point, it is what it is. I mean, at this point, man, Anthony Volpe at 1,700 at bats. I mean, you see what you get with him now.
Well, the president of the channel is checking in with his thoughts. Jeremy says 275 to 290, 10 to 15 home runs, 75 to 90 RBIs, 35 to 50 stolen bases, OPS is 780 to 840. So me and Jeremy are right around the same thought process of what performance looks like for him, and that is legitimately it.
I'm fine with if he can ever perform like that. That would be great. I don't think he can ever perform like that.
Like I said, I'm willing to give this thing one more year, and if it doesn't happen, pull the damn plug and figure it out.
I don't know. Here's the one thing to go down this.
He's got 2 years of arbitration left.
Okay, this is my thing. This is what I hate, and I know the Yankees are going to do this. Jose Caballero could be hitting 500 with 20 bombs, 20 stolen bases, and Gold Glove caliber defense. And when this kid shows up, he's going to be out of a job. That's what I don't like. That's what happened. That's what's going to happen.
If the team's on a roll and they're winning,
they will play.
I don't know, dude. That's
You don't think that? You don't think they're going to put him in there? Sweet Christ, they put him in when his arm was destroyed, and they refused to take him out of the games.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like he could not play, and he was that bad, and they put him in every single game. He was that bad in the postseason, and they play it to a clip of 75% strikeout rate, and they still played him every single game.
I like to think they wouldn't make the same mistake twice, but they shot him up a quarter zone. They're like, all right, kid, go out there and play. He's like, as his arms like hanging off his body.
He was batting horribly in his rookie year, and they wouldn't send him down. He was slumping his second after a heater that he had in his second season. He slumped beyond belief. They didn't send him down. They didn't put him on the IL last year. There's no point, and there's no avenue that the Yankees are going to turn around and ditch this right now. Unless they,
I said, I think they're gonna give it one more year, and then they're gonna have to make a decision after this season. If it doesn't go well, if it goes well, he ain't going anywhere.
I don't think they're gonna pull the plug until they truly believe that George Lombard Jr. is the dude to move forward.
Well, that's also part of the equation too, sure. Or unless Roderick Arias finds God and becomes some kind of unicorn overnight.
I think he needs to change scenery. I think he's kind of one of those guys that if you move him send him to high A ball now instead of keeping him in the same spot, then see what transpires. See if he moves forward. At that point, if he doesn't perform, then kind of you tried it, and it is what it is.
But yeah, unfortunately, they spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. Today's my favorite day of the year.
I know. International Signing Day is usually your Christmas, and we're all like, Mark, will you just shut the hell up? Nobody cares.
Yeah, but this year was kind of a downer.
Except for the year we signed Dominguez, and then we were all like, yeah, you know,
well, I think
and Arias, but
when we signed Arias, we were all happy. I mean, I was happy when they signed Arias. Maya was a good sign. This year they were supposed to sign Wandy Asian, and Yankees decided this offseason was going to be a cluster. You know what?
I wonder who dropped the poison pill in that water, man. Because
so for those who don't know all the things that were going on, here's what happened. The Yankees, back in December, they were actually November, December area. They did not renew the contract for the head of their international director, Danny Rowan. There's been a lot of stagnation when it comes to the international side, where you have Jason Dominguez, who got one of the largest deals ever. He's not a regular player, albeit that's a Yankee fault. I personally believe they should have given him the run, and having the Trent Grisham back is not really helping his cause, but that's neither here nor there. Roderick Arias is still in low A ball. He hasn't moved forward. Brando Maea, he's gotten injured a lot. You can go back to even before Dominguez, where you had guys like Kevin Alcantara, who's moved on. Then you had Antonio Caballo that didn't perform, and then you've had Everson Pereira, and you've had
Luis Severino's brother. We had Luis Severino's brother at one point.
For like a hot minute.
He had like a 36 ERA and
done
DSL, and they were like, okay.
Well, that happens. I mean, you take flyers on kids. I mean,
and more recently, they actually brought Marian Rivera Jr. into their like Florida development complex or something. I think last year or the year before, and that didn't work out. So. Even though he was originally drafted by the Nationals, but
that's a draft pick. But what I'm saying is guys like, your dude Peraza's come in there, and then you've had a plethora of other people have kind of come in and died on the vine, so to speak. The Yankees haven't the development of the internet on the international side hasn't really happened, and there's a lot of talks on why. With it came to Wandy this year, it was there was no singular voice that could say, "This is we got you, we got you, we got you." The Yankees even had Omar Minaya sit and talk to Wandy and his representatives and say, "Our deal's intact, we're good to go, we're good to go." We can't give the final sign off right now until we actually get a director, and because of that, they said. That's exactly
why wouldn't Minaya just take over as the director of international whatever and just get the deal done? Like, what the hell? Like, I don't understand that.
So I'm good with Yankees farm Carlos.
Yeah,
and he and I've had multiple conversations about this over the time, and I said why not have Omar? He goes, I'm saying the same thing. Let Omar be.
It just make too much sense. That's why.
Well, that. Yes. Making sense in the Yankees don't go hand in hand right now.
Hey, let's have the guy that speaks Spanish take this thing over until we find somebody. Holy shit, what an idea.
Not even speaking Spanish. It's a dude that was a former GM, former scout, has run in international departments before with the Mets, and I think with the Expos at one point. This is perfect sense. Who's got credibility out the ass. No, we're not going to do this crap. We're going to still wait around, and they still haven't signed the new director yet. They're down to like the final two people supposedly. And international signing day has come and gone. They've made some signings. Don't get me wrong. They've made signings today. Nothing on the $1 million scale in the millions or big hundreds of thousands or things like that. But they got some guys. So it should help out. But the goal is like. They have agreements going forward already. Like they have agreements already for next year. They have agreements for 2028, 29, 30, 31. Like they got agreements already with dudes and supposedly top tier dudes.
Well, apparently not, considering there's no director. So I mean,
Well, and that's what has to come out is like, will the new director honor these agreements? Will they cut them loose? We'll see. That's the big That's the big wait and see. To be honest with you, like, don't know what's going to happen there, but it's the Yankee Oh, sorry, something popped up. The Yankees re-signed somebody. Paul Blackburn. The Yankees have re-signed Paul Blackburn today to a 1-year deal.
Dude, that was done like weeks ago. What rush have you been living under?
I don't know.
That was done like just before Christmas.
Yeah, but they actually finally fully announced it. Like they actually put pen to paper.
Oh, the person that's in charge of paper and toner probably just got hired. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they say everyone says
they couldn't print his contract because they didn't have anyone to order printer, anchor, paper.
Well, Howell's cutting back on that as well.
Yeah,
But this is what this offseason kind of come down to is like, and we're joking about the printers and papers and crap, but they're not signing any free agents. They're making bad moves with the guys that they're bringing in.
Well, they're signing free agents. They're just signing the wrong guys.
Well, they're signing their guys. They're working on the margins right now. As Cashman likes to say, he's working the margins. But by the same token, they're bringing back a Trent Grisham who's showed massive decline last year and gave him ungodly amount of money and is going to have stagnating again their young players. Because no matter what happens, you and I both know the Yankees will put the dollar amount before the actual player. And Trent Grisham will get every opportunity to play. You will get every single opportunity to play over Dominguez, who needs the time out there.
Sometimes they put the money before the player because look what they did to DJ. You're still owed 30 some odd million, and they just released them.
But when he came back,
but
the past couple of years when he came back from his injuries, guess who sat? All the young guys who weren't making money.
I get it, but
that's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna put a young kid on the sideline who needs the reps, put him on the bench, and let some dude that because he's making much more money. They did it with Josh Donaldson when Josh Donaldson was there, and he was atrocious. He was turning around and he was getting out there every single day when they could have put a Peraza at that point. They could have put all these other guys out there, and they didn't.
The only thing I'm hoping for is that J-Dom shows up to spring training and hits the ball like Barry Bonds.
I'm hoping. I know that if you give him opportunities, he's going to be an offensive juggernaut.
But it needs to be consistent opportunities.
Yes, well, that's the thing. They didn't. Well, even last year they didn't give him consistent opportunities, and that was the dumbest thing. They had a rotation. Didn't matter what went down. Could have went 5 for 5, and then the next day they were sitting him. It was the dumbest thing in the world, and that's the thing that those nerds that the Yankees have do. They don't look at hot streaks. They say, oh well, no matter what, this is the type of player you're going to be, and they don't take the heartbeat into the situation. I'm hoping that he comes in there, kills it, because they, for some stupid reason, think he's a left fielder when he's a center fielder. I mean, he's been known to not have the best running the best routes to the ball, and then you put him in one of the hardest, if not the hardest, left positions in baseball in Yankees left field, and you wonder why he's having problems out there. Like it does, like the computation of what they're doing and what they're thinking just doesn't add up ever.
Doesn't add up. To agree. You knew it was trouble when he couldn't catch a routine fly ball out there and was banging off his glove. And we're all like looking at each other going, what's the deal with this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's Yankee Stadium is the hardest left field to play. And when you don't give this kid, when you're not out there giving the kid the opportunity to get as many reps as possible out there, and you're bringing him up through the minor leagues and you're keeping him at center field the entire time.
Well, here's my thing too, right? If you're the Yankees, now this is me using common sense, which I know is in short supply around here these days. This kid is having a tough time in left field. Like, why not bring Brett Gardner in to work with him, who played a lockdown left field forever? I know they did him dirty, but at some point, like, if I'm the Yankees and I have all these resources at my disposal, like, why wouldn't you bring in an Alex Rodriguez to work with Anthony Volpe? I mean, I know A-Rod was there in spring training last year for a week or two. I mean, look what bringing Andy Pettit in has done for Max Fried and Carlos Rodon. Like, it could have the same effect with bringing in Brett Gardner to work with Dominguez in left. I mean, it just makes too much sense not to do this.
Like you said, making sense is in short supply.
Like, when Devin Williams was struggling, why didn't they bring in Mariano to work with Devin Williams? Even though I think it was between the ears and nothing performance-based. Well, the in between the ears thing was causing performance issues, but I don't know. If I'm the New York Yankees and I got all these former alumni that are, whether or not they'd be willing to come in and do it is a different story, but I just go back to the Andy Pettit thing. Like, look at what bringing Andy in around this team has done for those two left-handed studs that we have.
They've done these things before. Like, they had El Duque sit down there and talk with Luis Severino and try to let El Duque teach Sevy everything he did.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You know, like they brought back Rosario, and Rosario was a massive clubhouse glue guy, and Jason gravitated towards him, and they would go out early every time, and they were working together in left field, and he'd be the dude kind of helping out Jason in left field.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they're not going to get a Bernie Williams to come back out there and work with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just try to figure something out. But
I don't know how that would work with Bernie being a center fielder his whole career. I mean,
true, but what I'm saying is this: I'm saying if all roads lead to Bellinger being re-signed and whatnot, put Dominguez back in center field because I think he will thrive in center field. Let Bellinger take the harder spot in left field. Keep Judge in right field, and that's your offense right there, and that's your defensive alignment.
Well, what are you gonna do with Grisham?
When he falters, send him packing. Like, you're gonna either which way, you're eating $22.9 million this year, right?
Yeah, well, they can't send him packing until June 15th.
You can ride out the wave. You can do 8 weeks, 9 weeks of Grisham in, you know, playing majority of the time in center field. And when he's batting .222 and has 10 home runs, you know, maybe 10 home runs, and he's your number one, and he's your leadoff batter, and he still can't get on base most of the time, then maybe you're gonna figure out this isn't working. But the Yankees say, "Oh no, our numbers say that he's doing extremely well." But that's the Yankee way of doing things nowadays. I'm saying when he shows that he can't do it, and he's doing it for an extended period of time, put Jason in center field. Stop doing the stupid thing of moving Bellinger to center field. Thank you, my Hefe. You're right. They can release Grisham tomorrow for all they care. You know, they can put him on waivers. They just can't trade him till June 15th. And what are they going to do with June 15th at that point if they're trying to trade him? They got a bag of donuts, stale donuts at best. That's all he's going to be worth. But no, my thing is this. When Grisham falters, and Grisham will falter, and I hope, just put Dominguez back in center field where he's comfortable. Put Bellinger in left field. Keep Judge in right and work forward from there. And then, God forbid, it falls apart with Ben Rice at first base. Then you still have your backup plan of you can then bring up Spencer Jones and put him in left field because he's a exceptional athlete overall. And then put Bellinger at first base, and now you're covered on all different bases now. Now you're not losing any defense in the outfield, and then you're getting better on defense in the infield.
So you've heard it here first. Mark wants the Yankees to fail in the first 8 weeks of the season so we can get rid of Trent Grisham.
Deal. I'm fine with that.
I'm not a defender of Trent Grisham. I still think there's a conspiracy theory going on, which will remain to be proven or unproven going forward with what I talked about last week. But
remind everybody what you said.
So they re-signed Grisham to work out a deal with the Miami Marlins for Uri Perez because the Marlins need some veteran presence in the clubhouse and a power hitter for that stadium. That is the only reason why that I think they gave Grisham the qualifying offer for him to perform the first 8 weeks of the season, so that way they could trade him off. Whether or not it happens, we'll have to sit back and watch, but I definitely think that's what's going on. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. It just kind of seems weird to me. Or for Alcantara, not Perez. Sorry.
I'd love to have Yuri Perez on this team.
I would too. I'd take either of them, quite honestly.
I would too, but you know what? I'd take the controllability and the youth of Yuri Perez.
Yeah.
But Sandy's a beast. I mean, and he's regaining his value. You're gonna see he's gonna be on the block. Sandy Alcantara is going to be a trade deadline acquisition for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Just hope it's not the Red Sox. The way they're going this year. Oh, they just blasted $130 million on Ranger Suarez. So yeah. I think they about done this offseason. Now they got to find a third baseman. Joke's on them.
No,
we can trade a McMahon. You know,
no, they have their third baseman over there. They're gonna slide Marcelo Meyer over to third base. Keep Trevor.
I don't know. This arm injury making that long throw. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think Story would be the one to move over the third over.
Yeah, but Story had this.
Meyer.
Story had an arm injury also. Didn't he blow out his UCL?
I think it was a shoulder injury, not an elbow. Uh-oh. What happened here? Okay, well, we lost Mark. Don't know what happened with that. But I think that's gonna do it for us tonight. Like we. Oh wait, he's back.
I don't know
what the heck did you do.
I have no clue. My everything.
I was about to wrap this up.
No, it shot out. No, my system crashed a minute on me, kicked me out.
Listen, you're supposed to do your system update before we go live. You know, rookie.
Yeah.
Been doing this 4 years and you still can't figure this out? Like, come on.
Yeah,
go with the program, right?
Technology's never been my friend.
Okay, boomer.
Hey, man. Listen, listen, millennial. Don't start with me.
Whoa. We don't need to go there. I may be a millennial, but I was raised by boomers, dude. I don't play that soft stuff.
Yeah,
I was raised in a time where we still drank water out of a garden hose. So, you know. But anyway, you got anything else?
No, I think that's good for tonight. Everyone, don't forget next week. Hopefully, same time, same place. Maybe we're getting the whole crew back together again next week. Yep. So, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms for any and all updates. You guys have been listening to us like you faithfully have been. Every audio platform we're on there: Apple, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Amazon,
Pandora,
you name it. We're pretty much there. So go check us out everywhere and everywhere.
Yep. And we'll see you next week. See you later.